welcome to my channel. My name is Karuna and we consider trauma and transformation here. Have you noticed on your healing journey that the healthier you become, the more you feel resentment or even anger from family members? What irony, right? We spent years in dysfunction and then we get a little bit of breathing room. We feel a little bit better about ourselves. And the family of origin tries to suck us back into a dysfunctional paradigm of how it used to be. The good news is, because you're on this video, I highly suspect you're the healthiest member of your family. But it's not easy. We want love so badly from the family. We want care and consideration. But at the same time, we know we can no longer compromise our healing journey. We cannot go back to the way it was. We've tasted that little bit of freedom. We've savored sanity. And it means that we're deeply committed to being well now. In this video, we consider why the family of origin resists our healing. We also look at 3 scenarios and how to best interact with these scenarios in families. The dynamics in a dysfunctional family are set up at an early age, and we are expected to play this role to a T with little variation. Let's think of it this way. When we arrive here, we arrive with our family of origin, and it's really the mothership of trauma. It's the spawning site of trauma. And we're going down a superhighway. Every member of the family knows exactly where to sit and exactly what to say. And we become fluent in this language. We just think this is the way it is. We're going along and we become more and more enmeshed in these roles. And then suddenly you have an insight. You start questioning, wait a minute, am I this role? Do I really need to be the mediator in the family? Or do I really need to parent my parents? Do I need to take on that burden? Wow, that's a lot to bear. At some point, we start to question, and then we see exit ramps. And we're watching these exit ramps go by. I'm going to take an exit ramp. We take that exit ramp and we turn right round and we start going back in the opposite direction. Because the journey of healing is taking the same path, but in the opposite direction. We become fluent in the language of this lane. We start to dismantle the edifice of the trauma. We start to polish off the residues. And we feel a little bit better about ourselves, a little bit closer to home. Our language has shifted dramatically from the language in the opposite lane. Our family doesn't know how to relate to us. And should we bring up some insight in our language, it'll often be rejected because they do not yet have the ability to take an exit ramp. They're deeply enmeshed in their own pain and suffering, and they have to do everything they can to keep it away. So they're putting on the mortar, we're taking off the mortar. The amount of resistance or anger that the family of origin shows is in direct correlation with their need to control. If you have a highly controlling family, you can be discounted, scapegoated, cast aside, constantly made wrong. If you have a family with a little bit more leeway, you might be able to find family members, relatives with whom you can have an actual conversation, like actually meet heart to heart. As we mature in our healing and as we stabilize in our authentic self, then we're more well equipped to be able to go back and treat with the family of origin. We've got to remember, we're the ones that know the second language. We're bilingual. Our family of origin is not. That means that it will, at some point, be up to us to go back in and speak the language. Not in the early days. This is not an assignment for beginners. Let's consider 3 family scenarios. Does your family have an undertone of love? And is that undertone of love greater than the need to control? This is the best case scenario. The family that values love, just even slightly more than the need to control, 51% to 50%. There's a little glimmer of hope there. When you go back into the family, no need to assert yourself or say how great the healing journey is. This can rub some people the wrong way. Instead, look for the opportunities. Is a sibling or cousin receptive to your sharing? Does someone have a question for you about what happened when you were a child? Love is greater than fear, and the love itself will present opportunities in the family. In the second scenario, the relationship is flipped. So the family has a greater need to keep the controlling dynamics in place. The relationship is often transactional, and you're valued for doing rather than being. In this family dynamic, make sure that your healing is priority number one. That means you're going to keep plans flexible. Maybe you just go in for an evening meal rather than staying for 2 days. Or if you stay for 2 days, make sure that you have some transportation so you can go out and go for a walk or go to the market, get a little break. If the family is so invested in these controlling dynamics, in narcissism, in domination, that they've made you a scapegoat, now we need to think about going little contact or no contact. I have a video about that. The link will be in the description below. This is more challenging and weighs heavily on the heart. Go to that video. The third family scenario that I'm sure some of you are waiting for is, well, what if I live with my family? If you live with your family, make sure that you have privacy and autonomy. Earlier, I referred to the family of origin as the spawning site for trauma. Well, when you live with your parents, you might be out and about during the day, but then you're coming back home to the spawning site. It's like a backwash. So you have to make sure you're setting yourself up for daily success. Set your sight on your goals. If you're going to university, do you want to live in the dorms? Sometimes it's worth taking out that student loan just to have your own space, your own college experience or grad school experience. Do you want to go live with friends? Save your money and focus on your future. Some of you may be an adult child that found yourself back in the family home. We've lost a job. We've been through a rehab program. It's okay if you're back in the family home. Just don't expect $1 from them. If we ask our parents for $1, but all they have is a dime, we're setting ourselves up for heartbreak. If shelter is their dime, take the dime. Don't worry about the $1. Take the dime. Keep making yourself number one on the healing journey. You cannot take your father's journey, your mother's journey, your siblings' journey. That's for them. It's not easy to take that exit ramp, to go the opposite direction, to dismantle the edifice while the family members stay deeply committed to the superhighway going in the opposite direction. If this video is helpful, please press the like button and share with others in our community. I'm always interested in your comments, your suggestions for videos. Please share below, and I'll look forward to seeing you back on the channel really soon.